There once was a lovely little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. Her mother used to just call her Red for short. Red's grandmother was sick in bed in a different cottage. Red's mother prepared a basket of freshly baked bread and some freshly made jam, and asked Red if she would like to deliver the basket to her grandmother. "Yes, of course I will, Mum. I'd love to. I'll take them to Granny." "Now keep to the path, Red, and don't wander off." Little Red knew Grandma's cottage, and she knew the route how to get there, so off she headed into the forest, carrying the basket of food from her mother. As she proceeded through the path, she was greeted by a bunch of bunnies. They were always a delight to see. Some of them hopped along as if they were leading the way for her. Next, she met a man who was very friendly. He explained that he was a hunter and that he was trying to hunt down a vicious wolf that has been threatening people, and he asked whether she'd seen it. She said, "No, I haven't seen him. I was just back along the path and there were some lovely rabbits." He responded, "Well, if there were rabbits there, then the wolf would have been there, so I guess he's not in this pub. Watch out, my dear. Make sure you're okay. And where are you going to?" Red explained that her grandmother was sick and she was taking a basket of food that her mother had prepared to her grandmother's cottage, and she told him which one it was. He said, "Oh yes, I know which one that is. Well, mind how you go, Annie, and stick to the path." The hunter waved at Little Red as she proceeded down the path, and he watched her go. Pretty soon, a beautiful blue butterfly landed on Red's hand. How delightful. "Why, hello there. Who might you be?" Red turned and saw a wolf. Little Red responded, "Oh, are you the big bad wolf?" "Oh no," he said. "He is in another forest. He never comes to this forest, as this is my forest. I love it here, and all the animals love me." He did seem very friendly. He couldn't be the bad wolf that the hunter had warned her about. "And where are you going to?" the wolf said. Red responded, "My grandmother is unwell, and I'm taking this basket of food to her." "Well, that's a really good idea. And where would that be?" She told him which cottage it was. He said, "Okay, dear. Well, you have a good safe trip and enjoy being with your grandmother. Hey, why don't you pick some wildflowers for her and add those to your basket?" Red thought that would be a great idea. She responded, "Good idea. I will pick some. Thank you, Mr. Wolf." But he was the big bad wolf, and he was off running. He wanted to get to the grandmother's cottage before Little Red arrived. Meanwhile, the wolf, trickster that he was running as fast as he could to get to Grandma's cottage. Little Red stopped to pick wild flowers and put them in the basket. What a wonderful idea that wolf had. He wanted to be there before Little Red got there. Meanwhile, the hunter was searching through the forest. He really wanted to catch that wolf before he caused any harm to anybody else. When the wolf told Little Red that this was his forest, he sure meant it, because he knew his way, and he was running fast as he could to get to Little Red's grandmother's cottage. The hunter was still searching for the wolf in the forest, ready with his bow and arrow. Little Red came across another set of rabbits and bunnies. They were really friendly, and she took time to sit and pet them. 2 rabbits were especially friendly. Wolf knew he was getting close to the grandma's cottage. The wolf knew very well there was no way that that girl was going to be anywhere close to her grandmother's cottage. But he had some business to deal with, and deal with it he was going to. The wolf arrived at the cottage. Now what? He had to stop and think and decide how he was going to deal with this. The wolf made his plan. He knocks on the door. The grandmother in bed hears the knock and answers, "Who is it?" Putting on a girl's voice, the wolf responds, "It's me, Grandma. I've got a basket from Mum. Can I come in?" Grandma shouts to the door, "Oh, of course, sweetie. Come on in. The door's unlocked. Come on in." The wolf enters the house and walks through to the bedroom, where he finds the grandmother in bed. Grandmother is terrified. She's feeling unwell, and there's a wolf now come into her bedroom. On her bedside table was a steaming hot cup of tea. She grabbed it and threw it in the wolf's face. The wolf howled in pain. He was shocked. She splashed him with hot tea multiple times, and he was burning with it. The wolf's nose was burning, and his eyes were stinging, and he couldn't focus. He couldn't see properly, and his whole face was stinging and burning. Wasn't meant to happen. The wolf was squealing in pain, and he ran out. When the wolf's eyes were better, he came back in the house and searched around. He found another set of the grandmother's bedclothes and put them on, disguising himself as the grandmother. Once again, he's practicing his voice, this time as a grandmother. Eventually, Little Red Riding Hood reached the cottage of her grandmother. She approached the front door and knocked on it. She hears a voice respond from inside. "Who is it?" "I've got some food supplies for Mama." Voice inside responds. "Oh, the door's unlocked. Come on in, dear. I'm in bed, so just make your way to my bedroom." Little Red entered the cottage and made her way through to Grandma's bedroom. Well, Grandma really didn't look very well at all. She looked slightly strange. Walked over to Grandma in the bed. Disguised as the grandmother, the wolf put on a very convincing voice as the grandmother and said, "Hello, dear. How was your trip here? What do you have in the basket? Let me see." Little Red looked at her grandmother and she said, "Why, Grandmother, what big ears you have." Her grandmother responded, "All the better to hear you with." Little Red said, "Oh, Grandmother, what big eyes you have." And the wolf responded, "All the better to see you with." Little Red was getting uncomfortable. She said to her grandmother, "Why, Grandmother, what a big nose you have." And the wolf, disguised as a grandmother, said, "All the better to smell you with." "Oh, Grandmother, what big teeth you have." And the wolf replied, "All the better to eat you with." Red was terrified. The wolf went to grab her. She flung herself back towards the window, screaming, "Wolf, wolf, wolf! Hey, help me, it's the big bad wolf." The hunter was taking a break in the forest, and all of a sudden he heard screams. He recognized her voice and knew right away it was Little Red Riding Hood. He knew where Red's grandma's cottage was, and he ran straight as fast as he could. The wolf chased Little Red into the living room. He was still wearing the glasses from the granny disguise. He reached up and threw them on the floor. Red picked up the glasses and hit the wolf right on his nose. That really hurt, because he was still burnt from the steaming hot tea. Wolf came back and growled at Red. She picked up the lamp and hit him. Hot bulb got the wolf right on the nose, and he yowled in pain and fell down. The hunter finally arrived at the cottage. He opened the door and ran in. He ran in the house and eventually found the living room with the wolf sitting on the floor in pain, and Little Red was staring at him. The hunter threw a net over the wolf. The wolf struggled, but he couldn't free himself. The hunter adjusted the net again, and it became even tighter. This time it was covering the wolf's head. Eventually the wolf was well and truly netted and laying on the floor. The hunter looked behind him to check on Red. She was unhurt, but she was terribly upset and was in tears. What a terrible experience she'd had. When the wolf was scalded with steaming hot tea and his eyes were stinging and couldn't focus, the grandmother ran outside and hid in the woods. There she was. She heard lots of snarling and growling from the wolf, but when she heard Little Red screaming, she decided to run in to assist, no matter whether the wolf was there or not. When she ran into the house, she found Wolf was trapped in a net. The hunter was there. Joy, Little Red was fine. The hunter made sure the wolf was secured and then went and fetched his truck. Said goodbye to the grandma and to Little Red and drove away to release the wolf in another forest many, many miles away. So Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother got to enjoy the fresh bread and fresh jams that her mother had made. A terrible ordeal, but nobody was killed and nobody was hurt. The wolf, he was relocated to another forest, a long way away, and is living in another community with other wolves.